Well, Toyota owners can get their cars fixed, but do they have any legal recourse against the automaker? Joining us now is Randall Roberts. He is managing attorney at Roberts and Roberts. And Randall, we should say that you're kind of famous in legal circles and in the textbooks because you uncovered documents that went after Firestone 10 years ago. If you were working this case, and I don't know if you are, against Toyota, what would you be focusing on right now?
Well, first of all, I am working Toyota cases. In most product liability cases, the issue is whether or not the product was defective. I think we're getting past that. What's going to make this litigation different is that the litigation is going to focus on, did Toyota act soon enough? In other words, what did they know and when did they know it? And then, once they responded, did they respond appropriately? If you'll remember, they began by blaming the consumer, the driver, their customer. Then they blamed the floor mats, and I'm not sure that the floor mats were ever an issue. And then, of course, now they've got a mechanical fix that begins to put the blame on Toyota. The real issue is whether or not Toyota was acting to save money when it approached the problem with these earlier fixes and to preserve its image, or was it really acting in good faith? Obviously, we hope they were trying to deal fairly and in good faith with the consumer.
Sir, there is a theory that even this is not the problem, that there's a problem with the electronics on the car. Have you heard anything about that? And if that's the case, how does that expand the liability?
Well, I have heard about the electronic issue. As you know, we've moved from a mechanical system for braking and accelerating to an electronic system. And there is a theory out there, and it may well be valid. In terms of how it affects the litigation, I believe you'll find that the electronic system is much more widespread in Toyota vehicles, and that could lead to a greater recall.
Robert, what about the dealers? I mean, Jeff Flock, our correspondent, was just at a dealership. They're the ones that have been hit the hardest. They can't sell the new cars that they already have on the lot. They're getting 30,000 calls a day to try and fix the cars that are already sold. Are the dealers the ones that get sued, or do the dealers do the suing?
Typically, if the dealer gets sued, he turns around or she turns around and sues Toyota, asking for reimbursement for the cost of defending the case or paying the claim. But most of these cases are going to be brought against Toyota itself because the dealers were only acting on information provided by Toyota. For example, I represent a widow who took her 2008 Avalon in 3 times to get the accelerator problem fixed before her husband and 3 other people died in the Avalon when the accelerator stuck.
Do you take a client like that, and I'm sorry for her loss, but do you take a client like that, for instance, and build a class action suit around her?
No, I believe these people deserve individual representation. As a practical matter, class actions are more for the property damage issues, such as, is my car going to be fixed even though I wasn't hurt? But when you're talking about someone that's been seriously injured who's lost a loved one, those kind of cases shouldn't be lumped together in some type of mass class action. They deserve individual attention.
Have you filed any lawsuits yet, Robert? Have you gone to court yet in any regard?
We have not filed any cases. We want to be sure we know the facts before we act.
All right, Robert Randall, that is very interesting. Thank you very much for coming on. And again, you're in textbooks and law schools across this country for your work against Firestone. So thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
You know, I wanted to go to Jim real quick on the stock because, you know, obviously the shareholders in Toyota, consumers aside, are kind of wondering what's going to happen with their investments in this company.
Well, the real question is how quickly can they recover from this? If this is the problem and if they fix it, and there are no further problems, they will recover. But this is the first time you always went with Toyota was quality, dependability, value. If it turns out that it is the electronics and not this, or if there are other problems, then this really opens up the landscape for the competitors.
You know, Liz, I mean, at the same time as you look at a company like this, I mean, a global company, and they do have brand recognition, but at the same time, you know, with regards to Mr. Roberts, who's obviously going to be filing multiple suits, it sounds like, against the company, that makes shareholders very, very nervous.
Oh, you could say that again.
Stock.
Oh, yeah, you could say that again. You know, but Toyota's hanging in nicely. And the other key issue for the entire sector is, you know, what other companies could be affected by this? Do you stop production at certain factories in China? You know, Ford taking another look-see at what's going on with its operations there. So it's very key, not just for Toyota, but for the rest of the sector as to who's building what in China.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is certainly a story that we're going to keep on for you at Fox Business. We're going to keep on it for you. There you go. We're going to take a break.